Hello and welcome to Camera Centre UK. Today I am joined by Tyler. Look at him.
Me again.
He's absolutely gorgeous.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yes.
And what are we doing today then, Tyler?
We are going to talk about our top accessories that you can purchase for Christmas time.
These are accessories that we have used personally and we swear down by. So it's not, we're trying to sell them to you, which we are to be fair, but we also had personal experience with the majority of these items. I say the majority because I don't have a flash. I've never used flash, but
Yes.
you have.
Funnily enough, I have a flash with me, so that's going to be fun today.
Oh,
and also,
exciting.
we've been through enough of these to be able to give you first-hand professional level experience on them.
Yeah.
And I think we bought them and rebought them many times. In fact, we've had some new ones today, haven't we?
We have had some new ones. The other thing to mention here is the price is going to be mostly under £100, but a few items here that go for a little bit more, but not too much more. So they're still within the realm of a possible gift.
Yes, and definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. Shall we start with perhaps one of my favourite ones? I use it on every shoot, and that is the Peak Design clip.
Yes.
I am a massive fan on it.
You are.
It. And I actually have two plates on both of my cameras, so I can switch between them as easily as possible whilst I've got my backpack on.
Yes.
There are other ways to mount multiple cameras, but I think for me, I found this one the actual best one.
Yes. If you go through all of our YouTube videos, you'll see Stewart pretty much wearing it all the time. It's like a third arm for you, really, isn't it? It's essential.
It's essential. It's definitely essential for me when it comes to it. If I'm missing it, I end up having a harder time on shoots, and when I have it, it's incredibly useful. On the note of Peak Design, the other one that I would probably say, and we both have experience of it, and perhaps you should talk about it this time.
Are we talking about the cuff?
The slide, I was thinking.
The slide, yeah, the slide Lite is my personal favourite because, again, we're mirrorless users. But I've used both. I've used the slide and slide Lite. I think we've talked about this before in a video, but it is a strap that I will literally buy 5 or 6 of.
Yeah.
So that they're consistent between all of them.
And in terms of things that I have bought myself over the years, I've bought it again and again and again. So if you're the person that you're looking to buy for doesn't have one of these, they are actually pretty excellent. Security, but also the ability to take it off as well. Because the one thing I hate about camera straps is cam straps. So to have a camera strap that I can take off is as easy as possible is very important to me. And the other side of that is it actually feels like a good cam strap. So when I use camera straps, which for videography and photography is important sometimes, they're actually really easy and quick to use.
What Stewart actually means is that quick release system on the straps.
Yes, quick release.
So you get multiple hooks or clips or whatever you call them. So you'll get about 4 in a set. So if you lose them, you've got spares, but there is a simple matter of pressing in and pulling off. So they're...
Do you want to know an interesting fact about it as well? Is that it can actually take up to like 100 kilos or like a ton. It's like it's a massive like...
I believe that because when you look at it initially, it doesn't look very strong.
No.
You look at it and you go, really? That's going to hold everything? Honestly, they really do. They really, really are very strong.
Moving on to the next item anyway, and moving away from Peak Design, let's talk about perhaps one of the most useful things for photographers and videographers.
You can never have too many of these.
You can never have too many of them.
You keep buying more and more and more, but they're always going to be useful.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And you will definitely make use of them. So they're not something that's just going to sit in your bag and collect dust, which is always a concern, I think. But that is SD cards. Never ever a bad idea to buy a photographer or a videographer an SD card or a memory card that they're using.
And if you want to make it special, you can personalize them.
Personalize
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
In what way can you personalize them, Stewart?
You can put a smiley face on it.
You can put a smiley face on it.
You can write their name on it.
Yes. Which is a great idea because me and Stewart use the same batteries and we also use the same memory cards in a lot of respects. And so to avoid cross-contamination, we use the red chopping board. No.
Cross-contamination.
Yeah. We put our names on them.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but I will.
You will, yeah. They're always good. Delkin in particular doing some good deals on them at the moment. I personally use the Delkin V90s in my FX3 to actually be able to do the full slow motion, anything I need it to. And I've used these for probably going on 3 years now. Yeah. And they are excellent. And I've used them through multiple cameras, the A7S3, the FX6, the FX3. And they pretty much give you most of the functionality you need out of the cameras that need a higher amount of transfer speed.
It's important to note as well between brands like SanDisk, great. The Sony cards, amazing. Delkin, awesome. Like they're all good. So there's not really a bad choice, really, is there? Unless you buy one that's too small or too slow. But you want to be conscious of V90, V60, and V30. of V30, V60, V90. Essentially, V90s are faster, more suited for video, so they are more expensive, but generally speaking, they actually have and serve a different purpose.
Exactly.
But size and space is always better.
So next thing on our list here is something that's not necessarily going to be useful to me, but someone like Tyler.
Battery. Oh, flash guns. So, for example, this one's Godox V860 Mark III. Awesome flash gun. These ones are built with lithium-ion batteries. Most flash guns will come with AA batteries, which is always a nightmare.
Yes.
You're constantly having to change them. It's really irritating and annoying, but it's just a good, solid, well-rounded flash gun with automatic flash, manual flash, remote triggers.
I did actually say I didn't actually have them, but the only flash that I've actually got is a Godox set because I know that they're going to be fairly easy to use, and they were really powerful. But the big thing is actually that lithium-ion battery.
Yes.
Because having
Game
double A's, like having gear with that uses double A's in my backpack, I actively try and avoid.
Yes, like these are way better than AA's. Zero question of that. It was a game changer. It's my main reason why I actually went for it, because I'd used Nikon flash guns before then, which were all AA, 4 AA batteries, and you go through them tomorrow. I'm immune to that, by the way. So having a lithium-ion battery like that, one, it lasts longer. So if you can buy one like a Godox one that has that in, believe me, whoever you're buying it for, or for yourself, is going to really love it. So,
and kind of talking about accessories that you would have as a photographer or a videographer, I'm moving over to the video side of it. Let's talk a little bit about microphones, because you're talking about that lithium-ion battery. And one of the mics that I've actually appreciated the most, shotgun mics, was actually the Rode VidMic Pro, which I believe they still do. And that actually had a lithium-ion battery in it, and it was easy to recharge. No AA's, and I think it was good.
yeah.
The other side of that is Sony do some really good on-top mics for general content creation, as well as some wireless mics.
Good. Cool. I don't know a lot about microphones.
Well, you've got some, haven't you?
I've got some, and I know how to switch them on and use them, but your guy does.
Kind of does. But this day and age, it's ever important to actually have the ability to record decent audio. And when you're picking certain microphones for doing this, make sure that they have a good brand behind them, like the Rode Wireless Go's. They're particularly popular, and the new one, the Rode Wireless Pros, are ones that I actually do want to upgrade to myself.
Yeah.
And they are excellent, super useful in pretty much most situations. So, for example, if you're going to an event, you can do quick little interviews with them. They're just generally super useful, effectively.
Yeah, and it's surprising how easy they are to use. People get really intimidated by them.
Yeah.
They think, oh, there's this whole thing called multi-channel and blah, 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 blah. But actually, you just switch them on.
9 times out of 10, just
And
switch them
that's
on, put them in
honestly.
the camera.
They're like an amateur like me who's only just started using those type of microphones. You just put them on people and it's done.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
So these kind of range between multiple different prices. Best ones bang for buck are probably going to be Rode if you use other brands. Spending a little bit more, about £289, is the DJI mics. They are absolutely excellent.
Yeah, I use those.
But, you know, they may be on the higher end of your budget. If you're looking for something for like entry level, we do actually have some Saramonic mics that have dual channel input, and they actually do have some pretty decent audio in there as well.
Good. Yeah, we did a whole YouTube video on microphones. You should go and watch that. It's really informative.
The 5 people that did watch it.
Yes. Yeah. So what's our next one? Battery pouches. Because we were talking about batteries quite a bit. And the last thing that you want is to have all of your batteries just flying about in your bag, left, right, and centre. Yeah. We know from experience that it's annoying because they go missing.
Yeah.
Don't they, Stewart?
They've gone missing. They're just pretty much in my camera bags somewhere.
So buying a pouch for your batteries, the one that I use is the Vanguard ones.
Yeah.
And they're like 20 quid.
Vanguard, as a whole, do some really great accessories. Like Timber also, but like Vanguard, I must admit, the accessories that they have for like battery pouches, card cases, I actually appreciate them quite a bit.
Yeah, and I've been using their battery pouches for like the last 2 or 3 years, and I've still got it. And it's like 20 quid. It's not...
I mean,
bank kind of money.
No,
So
definitely.
it's a nice little
little stocking filler, you know, nice little gift. It kind of works out quite well. All of the products shall be linked in down below as well.
This next one's more for you, actually. Magic arms.
Magic arms. Well, my arms are magical. I used to be called Magic Arm Stewart when I was young.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Magic arms. More of a more of a video kind of accessory. You can pick them up for well under £100. They are great and they're always useful in any situation. These days, I think they've got a little bit more popular because people are starting to mount cameras to their cameras in order to fill out the content creation dream that we all go after.
I think we've got some examples in some of our YouTube videos.
Yeah, I got a lot of examples. Use them in a lot of different creative ways, but also just general kind of accessory mounting solution and all of that. They are super useful, and they're always useful in just like situations you wouldn't expect them to as well.
Another thing, filters.
Filters.
Okay. Now, what you'll find, videographers will tend to use filters quite a bit more than photographers in a lot of respects. For me personally, I don't really use filters that much apart from UVs, because they're just protection filters for me. But I know you make use of the gold filters, don't you? And the Pro Mists and NDs.
Format High Tech did a collaboration with Philip Bloom. Now, a lot of you may know who he is. And it's probably one of my favorite things that I tend to keep on one of my lenses pretty much all the time. And that is the Philip Bloom Gold Mist filter. With it, it gives you a nice sort of like filmic look to the footage. You may have seen it being used in a recent video where we tried out a tool called the Smoke Ninja, and it came out with some really amazing looking shots. What it does is effectively just bloom the highlights and makes images look a lot softer. It works particularly well if you're shooting women for fashion or just general day-to-day. Great for weddings, great for a lot of different situations. And with that, I think it's a reasonably pricey one. Price, I'm just going to put here because I can't remember. Probably should have done some research on that.
It's all right. They are expensive for what they are, but they're worth it in the long run.
100%.
If you make use of them more than once, then they're definitely worth it.
But with that, you don't necessarily have to spend too much to get some good effect filters as well. And it's a great option to go if you want to allow whoever you're getting this for or yourself to vary your shots just a little bit. And at the end of the day, varying your shots just allows you to get some
If
cool
you are unsure as to what filter to buy for somebody else, though, just get a straight up UV.
Yeah.
That's straight up UV. Every single person will make use of. You might get away with a polarizer as well. Photographers more inclined for a polarizer for reflections, shooting cars, water, motion, that kind of thing. ND filters are more for cutting out light, so videographers and photographers use them quite a bit for things like landscape work and that kind of stuff, and also slowing down motion when needed. So if you are unsure and you don't know what filter to buy, just buy a UV. It's the easiest thing to get.
Yes. And talking about another easy one, especially with content creation these days, but also if you're looking to get like your children interested in doing something creative, this one I think is almost a must, and that is mobile gimbals.
They're really good.
You're really good.
They're really good.
You
I
love
have
a little bit of a mobile gimbal,
I do love a mobile gimbal. You know, I haven't used mine as much as I should do because, you know, I've got pro level cameras now.
Yeah.
Stewart will agree that I'm now Sony, and that makes me pro.
Yeah.
But in terms of content creation, they're really easy if you're not particularly camera savvy, but you want to make some sort of more steady shot. So if you are looking to make some more motion type steady shot videos, but you're not particularly camera savvy, then a mobile gimbal is a really great option.
But even for people that have big, massive setups anyway, because it's nice to be able to shoot your content creation for socials with a mobile gimbal.
They're really good for behind the scenes type work, actually, I find.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't got a B camera or a second camera or a third camera, you can just whack your mobile phone out and start recording on that, because most of them are 4K these days.
Yeah.
So they're actually really good for that too.
Yeah. This next one, though, is one that I never thought I'd like as much as it is, because it's really boring. But it's one of the most useful things that I've actually ever had.
Yes.
As part of my year.
Well, it's another reason why we're doing this video.
Yeah, it's another reason.
These are the things we think about.
And that is the Pro Cubes from Hahnel.
Yes, they are chargers or dual chargers.
Or dual chargers.
Yes.
You have the ability to change out the plates in the future if you upgrade to another brand. That it's pretty much run by brands. So you get a Canon one, you got a Sony one, and you have the plates there to actually be able to use any of the batteries within that lineup. So if you had somebody that's going from like an A6000 to an A7, you can change out the plates and it still works. Biggest thing for me, though, is that the charging capability of it is amazing.
It's crazy quick. Crazy quick. We were trying it the other day, actually, and I had a battery that was on, like, I think about 10%, and it got to 100% in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's
which is
it's crazy.
just like, what?
Especially when you don't necessarily have too many batteries and you want to, build up, you're just going in and out. So like weddings, when you're like constantly running out of batteries,
Yeah.
put this somewhere in a wedding, just let it charge or just power it off a power bank and it shoots the battery straight up.
Yeah.
And it's like super useful.
And the fact that it does 2 batteries as well,
Yeah.
and not just one.
Exactly. And like, for example, when we shoot in these content days where we're doing stuff like this, it takes up quite a bit of our time and quite a bit of our batteries. So just constantly like putting in the new battery, taking out another whilst we're running out of battery makes the game just that much more efficient.
Yeah, it's
and
one
it's
one
amazing.
less thing that we have to think about.
Yeah.
Are all the batteries charged? Blah, 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 blah. And it just does the job, and it's done, and it's good.
Amazing.
Plus, if you've got a battery that's not charged, and well, say I've got a battery that's not charged, you have got one that's not charged, we can both charge them at the same time. Keeps us both happy. Prevents arguments.
Yes, we have a lot of arguments.
Happens. So Stuart, this next one, we've just done a big project on, haven't we?
We have just done a big project.
Would you like to explain to the lovely people watching what's coming next?
Well, what's coming next? Well, that video will actually be out before this one, to be honest with you. And that's the Smoke Ninja. We have now taken it on as one of our products, and I've got to say, in terms of both for photo and video, it actually can be one of the most useful and probably kind of cool gifts you can get someone. It's on the pricier end, so this is $299.
Yeah.
But the previous version, the Genie, was actually, I believe, twice that in terms of price. And it's
I never used
something
the previous.
I'd been looking at for like a really long time.
Yeah.
So this is a smaller, but it outputs a similar amount of smoke. And it's a Smoke Ninja. Very cool item. You can do a lot of cool things with it. And you got the ability to use a steam mode, a fog mode, and a dry ice mode. And all of these modes kind of have very kind of unique forms as to what the smoke is, and you can do some cool stuff with it.
It gives you a different dimension if you're working on portrait work, for example. So being able to do like actual smoke involved portraits is really cool, especially if you're using colorful lights. The other application is it's not a one-trick pony, and that was what the concern I think was that I had was, oh, am I only going to use this for one thing? Products, it's going to be huge for that.
Yeah.
Particularly video, also photo. It's just absolutely brilliant in the sheer fact that it's like that big, and it's not this huge smoke machine that you have to carry around with you.
It also comes with a magnetic attachment, so if you want to say put this behind a model and have the smoke come out, you've actually got a wireless remote there which will allow you to trigger it wirelessly. In terms of a gift, I think this would be like one of those kind of main items maybe, but it's like really, really good.
We had a lot of fun with it.
We had a lot of fun with
and
it.
if you watch our video that's now out, you'll see we got some really cool results.
Got some really cool
I had some really good photos. You had some awesome video.
Yeah.
We did all right, didn't we?
You did all right, yeah. No, it was a lot of fun.
It was a bit cold that day, but
It was
watch it. Enjoy it.
absolutely bitter that day.
It was Baltic, yeah.
So that's the Smoke Ninja. Link in down below. Would recommend it. I really enjoyed using it. Can't wait to use it for some more stuff. And it's just fun to play with, to be honest with you, because I feel like smoke is like a little bit fun to play with. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just it does its own thing. That's the thing about it. You have very little control over it, so you end up getting things that you wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So what have we got next? We have got tripod.
We've got a tripod, and the tripod that I'm going to mention here has been one of the only tripods that we've actually done a video on this year, because it's one of the only ones that they've actually sent us for release off of that thing.
So far. We will do more though, just to put
and that is the Vanguard VO 303 CBS, and I really love this tripod. It's not a one-trick pony. It does your macro shots. It does your general shooting. It does some really sick kind of like 180 to 360 degree video shots. Yeah, it's down the bottom there.
People can have a quick look at it.
I mean, this is going to be funny because I know it's not going to be an easy thing to bring over right now.
Is it heavy? Oh.
Okay.
Oh. It's okay. See the fear in Stuart's eyes.
Yeah, no, this is pure fear right now. So
Weight on it.
Yeah, well, you didn't need to bring it over with the weight on it.
That's all right.
Just take that off because that's the most dangerous part of it. Yes, I did just put that weight on it with a HDMI cable. But yes, this is probably one of the coolest tripods that I use personally, because you got the ability to swing it round and it's completely safe. Yeah, so like I've just created this abomination out of the tripod, but I think it's one of the coolest and most useful tripods for me as a content creator. And then this has got the extension pole on it here to give it a little bit more distance, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
But I figured out a way to counterbalance it, so
So, and the thing is as well, is that it's a really flexible tripod. You know, the motion's quite smooth on it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, and sometimes it's a bit quick, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the balance is really nice too. I mean,
Okay,
it's,
okay. Well, we'll keep it here for the time being.
Yeah.
Is it in the way? No, it's not.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I fiddled with this quite a bit to get it to the point where it can do this. But in terms of a tripod, I haven't had as much fun with the tripod as I've had with this one, other than the Peak Design tripod, which is the one that Tyler likes the most.
I don't. I really don't. This is nothing against Peak Design, by the way. It's a brilliant product. It's just not for me. You know, I like simplicity in my life. And I don't really use tripods that much.
And I don't
honest.
think you get simplicity in your life, especially since I'm around.
Well, yeah, you know.
But really good. And then I think the other one to mention when it comes to this kind of like support gear is, of course, monopods like the Lance from.
I like a good monopod because I
Yeah.
can walk around like Gandalf the Grey whilst I've got.
What was it? You like a good three-legged monopod?
I like a good monopod.
I thought you said you like a three-legged monopod.
No,
Three-legged thing, monopod.
look, a monopod.
A monopod. They're good. They're useful, especially for people shooting longer lenses. I find it's a really useful tool for that situation.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other things.
Yeah, but monopods in general really good, especially if you get them with the feet
Yeah.
on the bottom. So they're a lot more steady and a lot more stable. They're really great as walking sticks.
Yep.
You might find as well.
Yeah.
They actually do help keep the weight off your shoulders. I like them for when I'm shooting like moving subjects particularly, because then it means you could be firm and steady and stable and pan and track and move. And also at the end of wedding days when you're absolutely knackered and you just want to put it on a monopod so you don't have to hold your camera for any longer. It's actually a really good thing. And that's a trick that I learned from previous wedding photographer that I used to work with.
Yeah.
Was, you know, during the speeches, just put it on the monopod and chill. just sit there and just chill with it, because it doesn't make any difference to your photography. It just takes the weight off your shoulders after carrying it around for 12 hours a day. So, and you can actually pick them up about 100 quid?
About 100 quid, if not less. But you know,
and they can be more expensive.
They can be more expensive. On that note, I think the Lance, I believe, is just under 100 quid, and then, of course,
there's a really good one that we sell, which is a Fayutech one. They're about, I think, £89.
Okay.
They're carbon fiber and they come with feet as well.
That's the gimbal extension one, isn't it? I believe.
I'm not sure. It's just a Fayutech one.
Yeah,
Fayutech carbon fiber.
I remember it back from a couple of years ago. I think it was really good, really nice and light,
and it's solid as well. And it's cheap enough. You can put an expensive camera on it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You just have to buy the ball head additionally. Get one of them for 20 quid.
Yeah. Talking about ball heads.
So yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it? In terms of that,
we did actually talk about the Polaroid in Instax accessories as well.
Yeah. So this time of year, let's move this out of the way, Stu. Let's cut this.
I think it's becoming far too tempting for us to injure each other.
Yes. Especially this time of year, people are buying a lot of Instax minis, that kind of thing. Polaroid cameras in general are really popular. In fact, I believe at one point in this company we oversold, which is great. Because they've been that popular, we've ended up having to order more in. But you can buy a lot of accessories if you've bought Instax cameras or Polaroid cameras. You can buy a lot of accessories for them. So cases, more paper, never a bad idea. Some of them come with filter sets as well. So the Polaroid Nows, you get the little color filters that can go on them. But you can also buy little fold-out books, albums for Polaroids as well. They're really worth getting.
They're great. They're great for everyone. I think Polaroids themselves are a little bit like Lego these days, and probably some of you are going to argue, but like they're pretty much for all ages, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I had a lady in the shop yesterday come in, and she was in her 50s, and she bought it for herself for Christmas present.
Oh, that's nice.
And that was really nice. And she bought a case with it, and she bought paper, and she bought all of it. So when you go in and buy the Polaroid cameras, make sure you get all the accessories as well, because they're really worth having.
Yeah, 100%. And also like the Instax minis, I would probably say are like really good gifts as a whole, because they are about £100, aren't they?
If you buy it with the paper, they come to about that. So the cameras themselves are, I think they're £69 or £79.
Which is a bargain.
Which is, that's what you would spend on a Christmas gift, right?
Especially if you've got like a younger relative or something like that.
Or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or
anything in between.
Partner. Yeah, 100%.
Really good for like getting into doing this kind of stuff.
I don't think it really, when you buy all the accessories, exceeds more than 150 quid.
So anyway, I think that is pretty much everything we've kind of like thought about the accessories that we have really enjoyed over our years, or just this year in general.
Yeah. And if there is anything else you think of that we haven't thunk of, put it in the comments below, because we'd like to know.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye, driver.
Hoo-ha!
Good.